Good morning. Thank you for your patience. I'm Reverend Christina Jones. Technology is also interesting. Welcome to Althea Center. It's a blessing to be here. It's a blessing for all of us to be here. I invite you all, a little housekeeping, to turn down your cell phones or also give yourself the possibility of turning off your cell phones to give yourself a respite from all the technology. And here at Althea, we do a land acknowledgement. Here in Denver, Colorado, especially where this land is beautiful indigenous people that this land stands upon, which is extremely powerful. We want to acknowledge that this is the indigenous land of the Cheyenne, Arapaho, and Ute peoples. It is important for us to name their legacy, and their legacy matters because this was their sacred ground, and it was made more holy for Althea because of it. To assure that this land acknowledgement is more than a statement only, Althea supports. You get it? Okay. Sorry about that. Althea supports the opportunities and partners with many nonprofits that reside in this building. In other words, we do practice what we preach. We are it. And an affirmation of diversity. We affirm that we are a community of diverse spiritual seekers. We are growing in diversity of race, gender, and sexual orientation, age, ethnicity, backgrounds, and physical abilities. We are evolving in consciousness, moving beyond differences and dichotomies to embrace oneness, unity, and community. We are ever more aware of past and present biases and atrocities, and are committed to being an open and safe place for seekers to further their journey on the spiritual path towards awakening the spirit of oneness in all. And we also like to recognize our first-time visitors. If you're willing and not too shy, raise your hand, and one of our beautiful ushers will hand out a beautiful flower. And thank you for being here. Thank you. And now, our wonderful practitioner, Dick, will do an opening prayer to help us get grounded and centered. Thank you, Dick.
Now is it working? Now is it working? As I sit up here or stand up here, which is a little rare for me to be here at this point, I realize there's some beautiful stained glass in the door, which I had never noticed before. There's the pipe organs that we don't use too much, but we do have a pipe organ back here. That's kind of an interesting. Well, with all of this, I'll ask you to turn to prayer. Shut your eyes or whatever feel comfortable for you as we start out this service. And I'm using a prayer from science, studies in divine science. And we all remember that this church and this religion was started by women. And that's an interesting side because so much we think it was started by men, but this was started from the feminine side of the human race, and then adds another dimension. So with this, as you go into a state of prayer, let us add, we resist nothing. We overcome all seeming evil with good. There is no reality in evil since allness of God is everywhere. I am loving thought, and we are loving thought, and a kind word to everybody we meet. We are the source of joy to all we meet. We go out to bless this world, our world, by seeing it filled with the glory of the divine presence. The Father, the Mother God blesses my work. The blessings of the Lord maketh rich, and he adds no sorrow to it. And so it is. Amen.
Everyone, if comfortable, please rise for the statement of being. God is all, both invisible and visible. One presence, one mind, one power is all. This one that is all is perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance. We are individualized expressions of God and are ever one with this. Perfect love, and perfect substance. Now time for the basic. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are the part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. We are a family. You are the face of God. Thank you, everyone. You may be seated. I'm so dramatic. I'm so sorry. I have to do an introduction. Whee! Okay. We are pleased to welcome back our friend, Tom Farber, who is our featured musician today. Tom Farber played piano, ukulele, guitar, and trombone as a youth, picking up Native American-style flute in 2014 after years away from music. Now retired, Tom is a volunteer park ranger at Rocky Mountain National Park, current host of the Mile High Flute Circle, teaches Native American-style flute privately and at Colorado Free University. He released his first album, Fluting in the Rockies, in September of 2021. Everybody, it's Tom Farber.
Button. Oh, I think we just got something. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good crowd today. And I hadn't been here since the interior was repainted. Great job. Well, I'd like to start today with a song that's on the album that I released. Just a moment of shameless commerce here, but you can see the CD back there for those of you who still use CDs. The album is available on about any platform, but if you want to buy a CD, I'll have some for sale after the services are over. This song is titled "They See Across the Canyon." And in this title, instead of using the word see, S-E-E, I use just a capital letter C to reflect the fact that all three of the flutes that you'll hear in this piece are in the key of C. The vision behind this is, think about a place like Canyon de Chelly in Arizona or Mesa Verde here in Colorado. It's early morning or maybe late evening, and one of the members of one of the residents of the canyon or the mesa puts out a call, a musical call, hoping to get a response and maybe that others will join in. So it could be somebody in the canyon calling to someone else, somebody on the mesa calling across the canyon to someone else and hoping for an answer. So this is "They See Across the Canyon." No? Sorry, I guess nobody's answering you. I'll just continue. Okay. Oh, do you want to start again? Thank you.
Isn't Tom awesome? And I don't mean to, yeah, make some noise for him. I love his stuff. I couldn't help but notice he's got the stuff at the front, which I think means do we get to play along later on? Oh, it's fun.
Pick up a piece of percussion and shake along with the rhythm.
All right, I can shake along with the best of them. Thanks, Tom. We have 2 readings this morning, both selected by Reverend Jones. Let your actions always speak for you, but be forever on guard against that terrible trap of false pride and conceit that can halt your progress. The next time you're tempted to boast, just place your fist in a full pail of water. When you remove it, the hole that is left behind gives you a correct measure of your importance. That's by Og Mandino. And our second reading by Christian Larson from 1910, use forces, how to use them. Whenever you appreciate a certain thing, you become conscious of its real quality. And whenever you become conscious of the quality of anything, you become to develop that quality in yourself. When we appreciate the worth of a person, we tend to impress the idea of that worth in our own minds, and therefore the same effect can be produced in a measure in ourselves. The same is true if we appreciate our own worth. In a sensible and constructive manner, if we appreciate what we already are, and we're ambitious to become even more, we focus our minds upon the greater and employ what we already possess as the stepping stone to greater attainment. You know, I remember a year and a half ago or so speaking up here, and there might have been 10 people in the seats. We were coming off of COVID. We were looking for a spiritual director. And I remember talking about our way of being. If we can be the context for joy, for filled seats, for a powerful spiritual director, for a sanctuary that's been restored. And a year and a half later, we are the context for all those things. I hope each of you takes a minute to acknowledge you individually have authored everything that you see here today. And what I am seeing is really exciting and beautiful. And probably most poignantly summarized in our new spiritual director. We authored it, and I'm pretty proud of our penmanship, to be honest. She's spoken to us many times, and for those of you who are new or watching online, good morning. We want to reintroduce you to her briefly. Reverend Christina Jones, certified religious science CSL minister, certified personal development coach, inspirational speaker, dietitian. I didn't know that. You got your work cut out for you. She likes to celebrate the divine feminine in all of us. Prior to her position at Althea, she's been active in the New Thought community for quite a while, actually since childhood. 7 generations of her ancestors have all walked this path of being a spiritual seeker. Metaphysical and spiritual principles from her family traditions from Africa and other cultures are all combined in what she shares with us every weekend. She's supported a number of nonprofits, domestic violence shelters, homeless shelters, supports numerous law enforcement organizations, including crisis intervention. Our spiritual director supports everyone's potential to transform their life through the power of spiritual consciousness, joy, and tapping into the power of love in every sentient being. Reverend Christina celebrates life with her husband. She likes to dance, and she calls the magical mountains of Denver, Colorado home. Here now is our spiritual director, Reverend Christina Jones.
Thank you, Chris. I appreciate and also acknowledge all of you for this beautiful facility, how you've held this space for so many years. This is part of a two-part series, the last part of Affirming August, and as Chris said, to tap in and acknowledge all the good that you do and all the good that you bring. So last week, be it you watched it online, first time you're here, welcome. We talked about the triple A's of affirming: acknowledgments, attachments, and action. Quick recap, nothing long, ministers can speak all day long. So I gave a little bit of a homework of acknowledging 7 acknowledgments, which you can even start now to acknowledge yourself, to write them down, or say them out loud, or both. I've already heard from one of our beautiful prayer partners said it truly works. It does work. If you work spiritual practices, it will work you. It will deliver. Attachments, just releasing and letting go and taking action. I decided and chose to keep the banyan tree up. I have a request outside of this talk that we hold and affirm light and love for the people in Maui, California, Canada. And as Mother Earth, Gaia, is speaking to us, any other place on the planet where we may not know about, where they're having volcanoes and ships, to affirm a peace for all sentient beings, all the animals, all the trees, and to affirm that we are all powerful. So now the triple A's of affirming actions. This is a big one. I've done some work on this, and I still do work on this. Appeasing. We're going to talk on appeasing, to release appeasing others. It stops us from affirming and moving forward and taking action in our life. Awareness, being centered and grounded and knowing when you are appeasing others and when you're not connected to source. And affirmation. I chose to find this definition. Some definitions I found were very soft. This one hits to the quick. Appeasing, to make concessions to someone such as an aggressor or a critic, often at the sacrifice of principles. Webster Dictionary. That's hardcore. A quick story. Many years ago, when I was going through a divorce, a therapist, including a practitioner, told me, "Do you realize you change your voice when you're with him?" I changed the tone of my voice to appease someone that was intimidated to me, that supposedly loved me. And then I got the homework to go back and look at my life of how I've been appeasing other people. And sadly, it was taught to me. And it was unconsciously taught. A lot of times our parents, they don't know what they're doing. And from my perspective as a woman, a black woman of mixed ancestry, it's rampant. But I also realize with some of my other friends, it's rampant with men. going into fields to appease daddy, going to be a doctor to appease. And I realized when I chose to step into ministry, better yet, stepping into Mile High Church a long time ago, people telling me that's a spaceship, it's a cult. It ticked people off. I even lost some friends when I went into ministerial school because I stopped appeasing, and it hurt. I realized appeasing stops us from moving forward. Where have we stopped our dreams? Where have we stepped into careers or relationships to appease someone else? Where have we changed our dress to make someone else feel comfortable? During ministerial school, and I'm going to get emotional, I'm feeling it now, one of my teachers, Reverend Reyes is here. Thank you, Santina. Told us some amazing stories of when you step into ministry, people will give you their opinion, whether you want it or not. Boy, is that true. Even before I came here, having a nonprofit, you should do this, you should do this. That makes me uncomfortable when you say this. I literally had someone tell me, I feel uncomfortable when you wear heels. And I had compassion for this person and realized, oh, this person has a height challenge. And my very presence is triggering them. Now, the old me in my 20s and 30s, I used to wear flats in corporate America. Because some men that were height challenged in the engineering world, I was too tall. I'm not 6 feet. But it bothered them, and I changed my dress. And I realized when I started to find myself, opportunities, abundance, peace, and joy showed up. I even slowed down my prayer life when I was 18. That was not smart. And I did it because I had a friend of mine said, you prayed too much. We should be going out more. What do you mean you're going to bed early and going to hang out with your mom and aunt because you're going to Unity Church? There's something wrong with you. So when someone says that, look into your heart and realize the consciousness of Christ did not appease anyone. Buddha, Gandhi, last week I brought up Muhammad Ali, I am the greatest. He didn't appease anyone. The women that founded this community did no appeasing. It was the 1800s, y'all. In Denver, women couldn't vote. They couldn't have their own, but 3 women founded this center and did it anyway. I'm pretty sure they got heat. So where can you step in and review in your own life where you've been placating the other people? And they may mean well in their heart, but it's actually their stuff. And a lot of people try to get you to do, it's manipulation, that's what appeasement is, to do what you want to do because someone stopped them from doing it. So they have something to work through. You don't have to go in a fight, argument, or defense. Sometimes you could just say, that's not working for me. Or you could say, let me think on that. Now, I've tried that sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't work, especially with family. We have the holidays coming up. You want to talk about appeasing? How many times many of us didn't want to say go home for Christmas or Thanksgiving or do the big hoopla and go hang out at DIA forever or get stuck in traffic? And sometimes, me included, we go hang out with family members that we probably talk to twice a year to appease another family member. I discovered this statistic through NIH that a lot of people get sick after Christmas. Now, between COVID, even before COVID, they said the flu would go through the roof. Now, you can say it's from Thanksgiving and Christmas and all the parties and gatherings, but I have a theory. Maybe it's from hanging around people you really don't care to hang around with anymore. that it's the stress. You're also eating a lot of food, and sometimes the stress of travel, or even if you're home, 20 or 30 people in your home. That maybe, too, energetically, you don't want to be around all those people or some of those people. And maybe you're doing it because I've heard this before. This is grandma's last Christmas, grandpa's last Christmas. My grandfather, who I miss dearly, died suddenly. You know, for 10 years we had to do stuff because he kept saying it was going to be his last Christmas, his last Christmas, his last Christmas. And one day he was in an accident and went like a flash. And we all laughed at his funeral. I'm like, isn't that interesting? We were preparing for his last Christmas for 10 years. And we got caught up in hanging around with some people within a family unit that we didn't care for or even feel safe with. And I realized we were appeasing Grandpa. He didn't know it. So it is forgive them. They know not what they do. We also have to forgive ourselves, for we know not what we do to ourselves. And to acknowledge yourself when you are appeasing. Awareness. Eckhart Tolle, love him. Being in the now is the greatest agent for change. Being aware when you're appeasing. Being aware enough to acknowledge yourself. That takes action. It's physical action. Affirming actions get you what you deserve, your heart's desire. It is change. We're in change. We could feel the change. Every morning we wake up to changes and new events and new lights. I heard Eckhart Tolle over 20 years ago, and now I'm reading him more because it's like I'm required to be more in the present moment. We are required because we can't go back. I know a lot of people keep wanting to go back into time, and I miss the good old days. Well, the good old days wasn't so good for everyone. We're not going backwards. Change is constant. Spirit is action. You realize our planet literally moves through the galaxy? Now, from a picture, it looks like it's just hanging out. Gaia just swinging out into space. We are moving. The planets are moving. So when you feel yourself bucking against change, that's the awareness piece. Be aware of that, because the human ego with you will ring you around the rosy. It will get you stuck, and then you start proselytizing, and this can't happen, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. The human's just like a little 3-year-old little kid that wants to scream, kick, and yell, and it doesn't want change. Carl Jung spoke about that. The human ego is incessant. However, our spiritual being is more powerful. Awareness brings back peace. It gets us grounded in the here and now, in the spirit. When you're grounded in who we are, whose you are, you won't appease anyone. Because you will know Spirit's got your back. You're not alone. Even in the dark night of the soul, you're not alone. Meditation and prayer brings you back to a solid state of awareness. I invite you to take our exercise this week or even today. It's hot and sunny. We still have leaves on the trees. As the wind blows, give yourself 5 minutes and watch the birds. You will find yourself coming into a place of awareness. When something or someone even we love that try to take us out of our awareness, if you're sitting or standing, I invite you to take a deep breath and feel into your body. You will get an answer of what actions to take in your life. You will get out of the head into the heart. The heart is the main brain. They have found brain cells in our heart and in our stomachs. Your solar plexus, that's your power center. That keeps you grounded in a sacred space. And I feel, sense, and know that the women in divine science, Emma Curtis Hopkins and Quimby, founded divine science in the late 1800s. That was the birth mother of religious science. What I'm saying is not new. They were grounded. Anything that's created is grounded in truth and wisdom and sacredness. And when people come up with inventions, you think Elon Musk cared about what anyone think when he came up with a Tesla? Or Albert Einstein or Benjamin Franklin? Maya Angelou did not appease anyone. She was aware of her physicality and her presence and her truth and her connection to the divine. I use the word God, divine, universe interchangeably. There's maybe a million names for God because it's ether, it's love, it's light. You can ask those moments when you feel yourself stuck. That's not spirit. Just sit and ask. When you have those moments that you don't want to get out of bed, or I'm feeling lazy, or I'm feeling stagnant, what's mine to do? You will get an answer. Spirit is always aware, knows where we are all the time, with us, breathing with us. I do believe we have spirit guides and angels that are guiding us. Ask for support to help you be more grounded, to assist you in taking action and awareness. Third, affirmative, to affirm your life. And Nona L. Brooks, one of the beautiful founders of the center, affirmative prayer will bring us eventually to a place where we will establish a strong, unwavering belief in the Christ mind. You could say Christ consciousness, which I like, universal mind. It's not the Christ that someone grew up with that they always talked about the death. I'm talking about the Christ consciousness of life. That's who we are. We are rising in consciousness, and I believe the earth is too. All the planets weren't always where they are today. Look at history. The land of Pangea. And guess what? The human race was still here. Maybe it's time we affirm that whatever we're seeing, that whatever shifts and changes comes on with the planet, we get to go with that with ease, with a loving grace. The indigenous people had to move. Guys, I left New Orleans on purpose. Long before Katrina came, my great-grandfather said, this may not make it much longer. That was 1975. I believe it. I love New Orleans. But let me tell you, I'm nervous about hurricane season. So what do? I affirm. I affirm where whatever's going on, just as we will affirm for the people in Maui and Canada, that they will be safe because things can be replaced, even though it's sad. Books can be replaced, even though it's sad. So what can we also affirm for ourselves? In these teachers, we don't beg and beseech when we pray. That's how come when people are begging to win the lottery, how many people you know, because I've tried it a long time ago, let me see if this begging thing works. It doesn't work. Nothing happens. It's like a door closed. But when you affirm the abundance you are and let go what's in the bank account, and I know it can be a challenge, or affirm health even when you hurt, you affirm the possibility. You affirm, even sometimes you don't believe it, get with someone who will hold that for you. That's how come there's prayer partners and prayer practitioners. Get with a friend that knows your truth, even when you don't know it. Affirming rewires your brain, your subconscious thinking, into that Christ mind, that Christ consciousness. When Christ, from Scripture, said Lazarus rose from the dead, he didn't beg or pray. He rose. He affirmed. He knew. That's alchemy. I believe we're all alchemists. If you truly look at your life, see where you thought of something and it just happened, and you think it's luck, like, oh my God, I can't believe that happened. Well, it happened because you affirmed it somewhere, maybe for a millisecond. You thought of something really good for your life, and it happened. You did take action, but affirming takes action and movement. Even affirmations, 2 powerful words. I am. I am will shift your consciousness. Trust me, I've tried it. I am healthy. I am wealthy. Some people you look at, if you really get to know their story, you would never know that they died when they were 3. And they're still here because someone affirmed for that baby, that baby would make it. And then it happened again at 5. A group of people affirmed for that baby. That no, this is not happening. Light's happening. This life is meant to move on. Even when the mother thought she was going to lose her mind because they told her she would never, ever have children. A group of women and men affirmed, and they didn't know what affirmative prayer was. And that little girl is right here, standing here. When I first heard that story in my 20s, and then when I heard of affirmative prayer, and I realized my family was doing it and didn't know what to call it. They didn't know a step, but they got tired of begging for my life and said, we're just going to call a thing that we can't see. Affirm what you want and feel into it and get help if you find yourself blocked. The human does show up and say, oh, you can't do that. That won't work. That can't happen. Tell it to shut up. Name it. I named mine Tanya. Shut up, Tanya. As I said earlier about Carl Jung, we do exist in a form of duality, even though there is only one source and one force. However, we are human beings, and we also spiritual beings. So our spirit is stronger. So speak and feel into what you want and desire. And do it for others. If you feel compelled to, people you are close with, ask permission. Ask permission, because some people aren't sure what they want. And we have to be careful as spiritual beings. Sometimes we want to overhelp and say, well, don't you want that? Yeah, that's the ego. If you don't want to do that. But when someone asks, praying for the earth, affirming that no, whatever we see right now, it'll be okay. It's okay to affirm and cry at the same time. I've done that. To affirm into the unseen. Like I said, we are alchemists. And we are alchemists in action. Take action. As I said last week, and I'll remind everyone, Ernest Holmes said, treat and move your feet. In the book of James, faith without works is dead. We must take action. It's good to meditate, but you also have to listen to what the direction is. When I was called to interview here, I tried to ignore it. It was funny. Woken up at 2 a.m. And here it's like, you have to apply. And I came up with every excuse. I like to argue with the divine. I will tell you that. I'm like, nah, that's not mine. It feels great. I felt at home. And then the next night, 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4:15, I got it. Because you're not going to let me sleep. Because the funny thing is, December 31st, I did a ritual of prayer and said, God, I work for you. So when Spirit started talking in February, I was like, oh, I did ask for this. Have to take action. If I didn't apply and contact people, well, it wouldn't happen. That's the treatment part. That's the affirming. And the tapping into and knowing what's real. So with that, if you're willing to take action this August and the rest of the year and the rest of your life to help yourself and others, join me in affirming prayer. Wherever we are, God is. And God is that light, that truth, that love, and that wisdom, that peace, and that affirming quality. And we are all connected. I know that for myself, Althea, everyone here, everyone online, and everything in the world, in Maui, in California, in Nigeria, in Canada, in places we may not know about. Spirit is there, taking action, affirming and loving all of us. And I'm grateful for this affirming truth. Knowing in gratitude, we are affirming that God is all there is. I'm thankful for this space, thankful for everyone being here, listening later, and being in the love and light, and an affirming truth of wisdom. And I now am aware of my sacredness, and I'm affirming a new life for all of us, right here and right now, for we are all blessed. And I release this into the law, into that higher consciousness, into that universal field where we are affirming our sacred life now. And so it is.
Got to get the mic going. There we are. Thank you. For this song, if you are interested, I laid out some of my small percussion collection up here. You're welcome to come up and borrow one for the song. Just be sure to return, please. It's easy to forget. See, your dog has been very well behaved. My wife and I had dogs for well over 30 years, and I became convinced that they saw themselves as furry, four-legged humans with a speech impediment. This next song is also from the album. It's perhaps not what you would expect from Native American flute, but these are musical instruments and really beautiful ones. This is more of a Latin jazz type of piece. And the title of this is Bighorn Flats, and that's a very, very gorgeous place in Rocky Mountain National Park. If you want to get there, typically you have to hike, 4.5 miles and gain over 2,800 feet of elevation. But when you get there, there's an exhilaration, there's a beauty, the views are fantastic. It's the reward for all your effort. And the song was really meant and inspired to reflect the pure joy one can feel when you're walking along that rolling tundra area. So I'll get it started. Getting a lot of feedback. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Yeah, that one's getting a little too loud. Can we re-energize that? Back a little? Yeah. Sorry, guys. Sound engineering. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. And no, you guys can't keep those, just so you know. So this is a perfect time of giving. So I invite all the ushers to come forward. And we have many ways to give because we have technology now, which is wonderful. And there's a QR code on the Sunday offering program that we receive. You can always do that. If you go online, we also have a dip jar that takes $10 dips that's in the back. It lights up, looks like a little mini Vegas, where you can give here. Your contributions, your time, talent, and especially treasure is definitely appreciated, as this is newly painted. It is gorgeous. And the new carpet and so many other things to help maintain this building that's over 100 years old. And know that all that you give in your time and your talent and treasure will come back to you. I know, sense, and feel 100-fold. So during this time, I invite you to read our offering for Althea. The universe provides all that I need and all that I give. With great joy, I share my prosperity, planting seeds for a world I am helping manifest. And so it is. Amen. And now this is a time, I think we have some mic runners. We do the prayers of the people. So last week I gave a brief explanation. We're going to do it again. If you have something to celebrate or you want us to affirm for you, Spirit is brief, and I believe in the KISS principle. Keep it simple and spiritual. So if you have a prayer for someone else, please be sure that you ask their permission. We are on Facebook. Do not provide last names, please. And make sure in your heart you do get permission. Thank you.
Lifting prayers for the people of Lahaina and for the survival of the great banyan tree.
Yes, so it is.
I keep getting called to go into the VA to have them, and now I'm going to have to go to University Hospital, and I'm not sure what they're looking for, so I'd like a divine result for that.
Prayers for rains in drought-stricken places all over the world, and food for those facing famine.
Wonderful. And if you have anything, go ahead. One more, sorry.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Avis. Please pray for Castle Rock Pride happening next Saturday. They've gotten a lot of resistance down there, and pray for thousands of us to go down there and support them.
Thank you. Luis?
Tomorrow is the first day for Denver Public School students, so prayer for a joyful, safe, wonderful year for all the public school teachers and children.
Amen. Yeah. And if you need a deeper time, we do have a practitioner that's here today. You may meet with a practitioner prayer partner. Absolutely. For more. Oh, we got more. Sorry. Thank you.
Hey, sorry, got another quick one to add in here. For my friend George, back in Central Kentucky, he has gotten some good news on his cancer remission, so I want to keep him in our thoughts. And a very special prayer, a couple of you in the room might be aware, but our former director, Jonathan's son, Narayan, has been in hospital last week with some unidentified things going on with his ankle. So keep them in your thoughts, please. Thank you.
Okay.
So I'm actually just going to take a moment to hold some space for myself. I've been with my partner for about 10 years, and we have a 2.5-year-old son. And we've come to the realization that we are not life partners. And so I am just sort of on my journey of figuring out who I am and reestablishing my independence.
Amen. If you require more support, like I said, meet with a prayer practitioner, a prayer partner, and you may go on our website and submit your prayer requests. They are held in confidentiality and in heart and love. And with that, now we have announcements. Luis, take it away.
Good morning, Altheans. Is it loud enough? All right, some important announcements. If Thursdays we do Community Connections over Zoom with Kathy Humphreys, that has returned. It's full swing, it's free and open to everyone. It's a great way to stay connected with the Althea community throughout the week. We're also offering our usual gong bath next Sunday as well, right after service at 12:30. If you pay ahead of time online, you get $5 off. So take advantage of that. We also have a book club starting. Our very own Reverend Arika King is hosting that. They will be on Thursdays from 2 to 3:30. If you are interested, check out the website. More information on the website. And if you love yoga, we have yoga coming back, Yoga with Linda coming back on August 31st. We'll keep announcing that, so as more details get settled. We also have Yogic Earthing class, a 5-class series from August 31st to September 28th from 5:30 to 6:45 p.m. on Thursdays. I hope that doesn't conflict with Yoga with Linda. That is Linda. Whoa, yes, Yogic Earthing then. Ooh, that'll be interesting. Okay, and our 100-year campaign is still going strong, okay? We're at $69,377. And we affirm that we have $3,623 in donations coming in, and we affirm abundance, okay? Finally, as your volunteer coordinator, today we're going to take action like Reverend Christina says. If volunteering calls to you, there are many ways to volunteer here at Althea. There are some more public ways to volunteer, and there are some more private ways to volunteer, like in the kitchen or behind the scenes. If that calls to you, I'll be back here in the lobby area with forms for you to fill out to join us, to join the volunteer crew. Yeah, because one last announcement, your reader, Chris Parente, is a great granduncle for the 4th time. So we are going to go visit Eloise May, Labor Day weekend. So I won't be here, so I'm going to need your help to take over coffee and take over keeping the kitchen clean and getting it all cleaned up. So I need your help, okay? All right, those are all the announcements. Thank you.
Good morning. Our community song today is a message of moving forward and accepting the change and embracing it. So please stand as you're able and join me and Rick in our community song, Never Turning Back.
Never turning back, never turning back. We're gonna keep on walking proudly, keep on walking proudly, keep on walking proudly, never turning back. Never turning back. We're gonna keep on singing loudly. Keep on singing loudly. Keep on singing loudly, never turning back, never turning back. We're gonna keep on loving boldly, keep on loving boldly, keep on loving boldly, never turning back, never turning back. We're gonna work for change together, work for change together, work for change together, never turning back, never turning back.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
All righty. Grab a hand. Get ready to shout it out. Right in your face. Something wonderful is happening to me right now.
Something wonderful is happening to me right now.
It's that thing called life.
It's that thing called life.
I'm letting go of appeasing.
Letting go of appeasing.
I'm embracing affirming.
I'm embracing affirming.
And I'm taking action.
I'm taking action.
I'm taking action.
I'm taking action.
I know it. I feel it. I am it. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, honey. Thank you.
If you took out percussion for the last song, please be sure to return it to the front stage. Thank you.